Hey, what is up, world? Welcome to Elevate the World podcast. I'm trained like Prince. We got Ann Spit and Sky to the Body rocking with us today. And man, wanted to talk to y'all today about our lives as fitness professionals, give y'all the whole rundown just in case you're thinking about becoming one, wondering what it's like for us, so on and so forth. All right. Angie, what's up with that quote?
Okay, so my quote has to do, which I thought was appropriate, the journey, right? Because that's really what it's all about. So this is from Mark Twain, which you know is an American author. So 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow line, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover.
Nice. Beautifully written. I went to Mark Twain middle school. Wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. Paul went to Party Beer. My bad. Never mind. Anyway, Mark Twain, great guy.
Yes.
Real poetic, man.
Solid dude.
Awesome quote.
No, wait, Mark Twain, and was that like the one in LA though?
Yeah. So I went to Broadway Elementary, then Mark Twain was in Venice, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I used to always pass Mark Twain.
I
used to always pass that elementary school on my bike.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. Cool. See how we were crossing paths and just like didn't even know it. Yeah. Anyway, though.
You guys were like high-fiving on the bikes, like when you were there, like, hey.
Right.
Yo, I miss riding bikes. Anyway, let's keep it on the topic. I want to answer some questions or ask some questions and throw some answers out. I wanted to keep the day as organic as possible, especially for myself. So I didn't make any notes. All I have is my questions, and then we'll just go from there.
Spicy.
So question
I like
one.
it.
Hey,
I like that too.
Sweet. Nice shirt, by the way. Had to give you that, Scotty. I like that.
I figured that they won the Super Bowl, like LA. It's like LA thing I have.
Yes. Let's just touch on the Super Bowl real quick, and then we'll get our talk out of the way.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, I couldn't believe that last play. Anyway, I'm happy about who won. I like the Rams. It was great. I'm happy for the team. A lot of exciting things happened. The one guy's wife got carried off in labor.
Mm-hmm.
He won the Super Bowl. Then he had a baby. He had to get right out. The Super Bowl halftime show was great. It was so short. And I think it was so short because we wanted a concert.
Exactly.
Like
people were like, oh my God.
Right. And I mean, where did Fitty come from? I didn't see him on any of the promos, but I will tell you, I don't like what the media is doing to our boy.
All the shade,
right?
Look, bodies change. Yeah, we age, but here's the thing. Remember, 50 Cent was on the cover when I was growing up. He was on the cover of Muscle and Fitness and Men's Health multiple times. So he did pave his way as being the fit, hip hop, muscular bodybuilder figure. Okay.
Right.
So all these women and all these people of the 90s, they want Fitty. They want.
Only other person was maybe LL.
Yes. Nelly, LL, and 50 were always on the cover of some kind of health and fitness magazine. So, but guys, bodies change, priorities change. Maybe he had a role that he was, training for. Maybe he was going to be in a movie. Who knows?
20 years ago.
Right.
And maybe he's just living life and enjoying and doing his thing.
Exactly. And he was still like fit. Like it was just like he was wearing a very small tank top, don't get me wrong. Like it was a little tight. But majority of the people that are like hating on him don't
even work out or
I don't even want to say it, but like there are definitely the people that are the ones like if you put a side-by-side picture between 50 and him, like you can definitely tell who the one that isn't working out maybe. Like there's no like they're body shaming him because they want to make themselves feel better. Because they don't want to put the work in to do it. And like that's like
100.
It's like so shitty to shame someone on that.
I know.
When you know they've done so much. They've done so much and worked so hard for everything they've done. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make myself feel better by hating it,
Right.
talking about inflation, saying he's 75 cents down.
Petty opportunists waiting on that moment. Right though. Right.
It was a funny joke. It was a funny joke. I'll give it that. Inflation, 75 cents. It was kind of fun, but it's still shitty. It's shitty.
Right.
Don't be shitty, people. Don't be shitty.
Right. Yeah, but everybody. I mean, I will tell you. Impressed with Eminem. I thought he did great. He sounded great. I love the tribute to Tupac. I think Kendrick Lamar did great. I loved his presence, his outfit. I really was happy with his performance. Mary J, awesome. Snoop, who had just purchased Death Row the night before so that they could do all of those songs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, 50 Cent was part of Dr. Dre's label too, so that's why they popped him in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised they didn't do anything for Eazy-E though.
Good catch. Yeah, because that is like a West Coast figure. That is a West Coast figure.
Surprised in Dr. Dre with NWA, like all that. So
I would have loved that.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have loved that. So, but all in all, I will say I love the Super Bowl. I love the game. I love the halftime performance. The commercials didn't grab me at all. It wasn't anything big for me, the commercials. What, do you have one, Scotty?
Well, no, the commercials, like they weren't off the charts hilarious or like crazy or anything like that. But like there were a solid amount that were really hitting like our generation, like with like some of the songs or like some of the shows. And
yo,
like,
shout out to Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was good. Cable guy, yes.
Yeah, you can just definitely tell they just kept hitting these things, and you're like, damn, like, they're really getting us right now. Okay, like the beginning ones were pretty bad, but like then they started like picking up.
Yep.
100.
All right. Well, there's my Super Bowl talk. We will get back to our football talk as the draft happens, but we won't do any more today.
Cool. All right. So with that being said, no, definitely, I'm glad you got that out there. We only do that once a year when it comes to the Super Bowl. So I'm glad you got that out there. West Coast, put that in there. Anyway, my question for y'all and myself is, how did you start professionally? What was it like? And what were you like? And, I'll start. And I'll say, like, professionally, when I first got in it, man, I felt like such a noob. Like, all I knew was I liked working out, and I wanted to share that feeling of, like, that love for fitness with other people. I felt like a noob. Like, I was nervous as heck. Like, my first session, my first time warming up a client, all the stuff. And the whole time, I didn't even understand the sales process. And I started in LA, like, at a gym, pretty much, I won't say, but at a gym when they first opened, and luxury gym, pretty much. And, like, prices were definitely elevated, and seeing those kind of prices, I was like, ooh, man, how do I sell that? And like kind of seeing like the sales side of being a fitness professional. That was a big one for me coming into it. And I think a huge skill that I learned when just understanding the value of fitness and why the price is the price, you know what I mean? But I think back then I felt like such a noob. I just had a burning desire to be a fitness professional, to help people, to just do what I loved. I used to put in very long days, 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Most of the time, very long days, because of all the, y'all know the split schedules, the block shifts, the blocks, all of that. And it's a gift and a curse, because like, when you do have that open and that flexibility in your schedule, it's like you can take a break kind of when you want. You can fit your workout in, squeeze that stuff in. But sometimes like maybe at the gym or whatever all day, or, it's just like that. You don't have a full day through type of thing. And like I said, it can be a gift and a curse. I always look at it like a glass half full. Like I get to come to work in fitness gear, comfy clothing. Even when I'm tired, once I get into it, I'm like, I freaking love this. But yeah, that's honestly where I started. Y'all know about my weight loss journey. That's what got me into fitness. But professionally, it all started in Culver City, opening up a new gym. And now I've actually worked with several, represent, bro. I've opened up several gyms, brand new gyms out here in Georgia. We all of us opened up at Timonium together. That was a brand new gym, you know what I mean? So I think that's been a really golden moment too, to like create the culture for a place, rather than walk into it and then you can add to that culture. That's what I'm doing right now in Georgia at a spot, which is pretty cool. But I don't want to give too much on that. Biggest thing was I felt like a noob. All I had was that burning desire, and here I am now, man, 4 years later. And I love it. I'm still here. So yeah, what's up? Who we got next? We got Scotty.
Yeah.
Represent.
So, where did I start? So basically, I was looking to be like a physical therapist, everything in college, and that was my whole goal throughout. I got an exercise science degree. I took a personal training class that correlated with the CSCS at the time, which is a certification that you only get if you are if you have a degree. So I was like, sweet, that would have been like the gold standard if I would have came out with that. And then, like I said, chemistry in my last podcast, chemistry wasn't my thing. So I went into like being a bouncer, and then I was a PTA for a little bit. But since when I found out I wasn't going to do that, I was a bouncer for a little bit.
You can't just roll over that.
I was a
Where
bouncer
was
for
this?
the summer. Seaside.
Where?
Seaside.
Damn.
No, like where like the Jersey Shore takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I never look at you the same,
okay,
man.
were you
I've
on
always
the
loved
show?
you, bro.
I was not
Were
on the
you-
show. It actually, that show happened, I think, after.
Whoa.
I think after.
Now, you know, I am a huge Jersey Shore fan. That show, I love it.
Good show. This is a good show.
Some of
Sorry.
those places
Anyone
were at
says.
the bar that I used to work at. But yeah,
Judge
anyway.
me. Judge me.
That was like a summer job for a little bit, and then I was a server for a while. That's how like me and my wife now like got to know each other a lot better, and just kind of one day was like, I want to slowly start getting into fitness. Like, I don't want to be doing things that don't correlate with what I got my degree in and everything. So I applied for a Gold's Gym in Howell, New Jersey. The guy there was super knowledgeable. And it was kind of one of those things where it was like a rotation where like all the trainers, like if someone wanted PT, they would just like fill out a form and then it would just get slid to like whatever their preferred like style was, or they had no preference, they would go to a newbie or like something like me. So I was doing like one-on-ones, and honestly, just one-on-one training just isn't my cup of tea. Like over the years, like I've obviously just recently done it at Soldier Fit. I've done it a little bit in LA. I did it before I moved out to LA, and it's just, I don't know. It was hard for me because it was hard to dial down what I did personally, if that makes any sense. Like at the time, it was just like, how do I, like the first girl I had, her name was Fran, and it was just, she had like a newborn. And so it was kind of like postpartum a little bit, but it was like a year or so after. She just hasn't worked out. And it was just like really tough for me to like, I don't know. I was like awkward. I wasn't confident in what I was doing. And I couldn't tell if it showed or not. But like in my head, like I'd feel like I was like, I don't know, I would beat myself up over a session if I didn't feel like it went well, but I had no idea if it did or didn't. I had one guy who like did want to do exactly what I did, was strength training. So like he loved me, and like I kind of like, we wrote our thing until I left actually to go to LA. But it was just like, it was kind of hard for me to dial down kind of like my personal regimen to like somebody else, I guess. And then I kind of did like a group thing for like a little bit. And then when I went to LA, I went right back to the restaurant. It was hard to find a job right away for a gym. Cause like I said, I wasn't sure about doing the whole one-on-one training thing. I went to Anytime Fitness, I applied, and I was just like, yeah, I'll call you when I can call you. And then I got to a thing where I almost moved back home because I couldn't pay rent, or I couldn't almost afford rent. And then basically I got a job at a gym, and it was on the mic. It was super weird. I was super bad. Like the whole training process, I was like, even my first month there, I was like super shy and not confident. And then I ended up being one of the most popular trainer there. I was teaching over 20 classes. I had the highest pay rate, and I was about to open my own gym there. So it was like one of those things where like being in that group setting was like my thing, I felt like. So like it all started with like doing one-on-one, but I definitely like, it's not my favorite, I would say. But yeah, it all started because I couldn't get into PT school, I think. Things happen for a reason, I feel like, you know?
Yeah, man. The way I see it,
Right.
dude, is, I mean, I think everybody has a story to tell, and I think, everything like leads to another thing. It's, you know what I mean? It's all a domino effect in different directions. So you're not getting PT school, lets you being like a dope group fitness instructor, and all that good stuff, bro. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, and I helped open a couple gyms. Like I help open 2 F45s, which have been amazing, and it's been great. The process has been phenomenal, and opportunity has been great too, and getting to meet other like-minded individuals like yourselves, and here we are.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm with you on that.
Right.
All right, Ange, what you got? Because I know you got some history on us.
Yes, I do. Okay. I was going to be an art major. I was going to go to the Maryland Institute of Art, and I was living down the beach, and my mom's like, "Hey, you're really into this fitness thing. You should really think about going to Towson University for exercise phys. It's a new major." And I was like, "Okay, let's try it." Loved it. So I got my bachelor's in science from Towson. During that time, I started teaching Tae Bo.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
Billy Blanks. That's how old I am.
Innovative. He was innovative.
Right. So did that. Was a server at Chili's, graduated from college, got my first job in corporate health. Okay, so I was a fitness specialist in a corporate fitness facility, moved up to the director, loved running the gym, taught a crap ton of classes, anything and everything, step, Pilates, yoga, boot camp, abs, you name it, circuit. I taught it all, loved it. I got a personal training certification from NSPA, did the TRX certification, did the Perillo Nutrition certification, went to every conference that you can name known to man, loved it all. Then I decided I want to do one-on-one training. So I worked for a private studio, eventually left the corporate scene because I wanted more. I wanted more control of my schedule, of my income. And I became a full-time one-on-one personal trainer. I did the cycling certification, taught spin for years. Like 10 plus 15 years I taught spin.
I feel like I didn't know that.
Loved it. Then after being at the personal training studio for like several years, probably like 7 years, I opened up my own studio. So I had Beyond Fit for 10 years. I had Beyond Fit. I ran that. I loved it. We had cycling, boot camp, you name it. I taught it. We had it. It was an amazing thing. 10 years into my business, I get a call from my landlord, and he's ending my lease after 10 years of me having my business. It was a blessing in disguise. He wanted to expand his business, which was connected to mine. And it led me to close my business, led me to go to a local gym to do one-on-one. COVID happened. F45 was presented to me, which loved coaching, was amazing. And now I have my own private studio in Kingsville, Maryland, and I'm back doing the one-on-one training that I love. I did a lot of nutrition counseling. And what was it like when I first started? It was really a lot of bro science. Okay. It was a lot of bro science. It was a lot of people like baby boomers dabbling in getting in shape. Okay. Because remember, I've been in the game for 25 years. Okay. So it was a whole different world. I remember being nervous. I remember wanting to like help people now. Like I wanted them to do everything I said right now, not realizing that habits form. Everyone's different.
Man.
And right. I just, okay, go home and eat all this good food. It's going to be awesome. Start now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's a tough one.
So one of the most valid points, of that is learning people and learning people, learning habits, learning what people are looking for. Nutritionally, health wise, I really turned my career more to training people that had a lot of health issues. I trained a lot of women with breast cancer. I trained people that were paraplegic. I trained people who had stroke patients. I volunteered at Cancer Life Net, and I trained a lot of women that were dealing with, like I said, breast cancer. I really became that trainer that just attracted the most complicated health issues
That can mean that
around.
you have a healing aura. So you kind of like unconsciously attract that.
It just started coming to me and I accepted it. I created a program called Real Health, Real Life, which was like my version of Biggest Loser. And it was 12 weeks. And I took them grocery shopping and we worked out and they weighed in and we did measurements. And I was kind of like their Jillian Michaels. So it's been my life. I'm very fortunate that I got my degree and go right into my career, which is very rare. And I haven't looked back. I did dabble in real estate as a real estate assistant for 2 years right before COVID, and my business closed and I was unsure what I was going to do. I had a great time. My agent was amazing. He's such a good guy. And I learned so much. But I knew that wasn't for me because everything kept pointing me towards fitness. I was very excited, overly excited. You know what? Like you said, a newbie, like there was so much knowledge out there and I only had this much of it. But I took the time to learn. It was definitely a grind. This is before I was married, before I had Reese, I would literally work 5 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. every day. I was busting out a ridiculous amount of one-on-one sessions. Ridiculous. And again, Prince, to what you said, it was a double-edged sword. Like I got to do what I love. My gym became my home. I had my refrigerator, my microwave, my food. I
Right.
lived there. People, if they wanted to come see me, they came to my gym and walked in and
Right.
Hey, what's happening? I did get to get my workouts in. And here's something for some new trainers. Don't think because you work in a gym, you get in shape. You got to do the work.
You got to do the work. Yeah, you can't don't just put on this trainer shirt or whatever it is.
Doesn't magically happen.
Shape. Nah.
Yeah.
You're on your feet a lot.
Doesn't come with six packs.
Right. Like you got to do the work. So I'm probably missing some bits and pieces. I mean, I have done so much. I've had a burpee-a-thon where we raised money for Wounded Warriors, and it was how many burpees you could do in an hour, and people got donations.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. A military came in their full gear and did my friend Scott. Scott did so many burpees in his full military gas mask and everything. It was incredible. I will have to find a picture. We had some incredible moments and I'm still here and I love every day. Every day is different and exciting.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I was a lot. I like that last part though. Literally today I was coaching camp and it's like you said, every day is different. And this has literally been a position and even just a role overall that like I've had to take it day by day, one day at a time. And for me, I felt like that was even God telling me I was in the right place just because of like that force to take it day at a time, one day at a time. Some days are easy, some days are hard. Every day can be exciting though, in its own way. I think like you said, like even adapting to people know like, man, everyone does not do what I do and they can't do it the way I do it. So you got to be patient. You get to learn people. It's a lot. It's a beautiful role. You meet so many people from so many different walks of life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's like
I love that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many interesting people. Totally. And, you know, like Scotty said, one-on-one training wasn't for him. I love both. Like I had a contract at APG where I taught boot camp to 50 people in the military for years. And I love that. But then I loved going to my quiet studio and, you know, training my 85-year-old client with, you know, balance and functional movements. So I had like the you know, the best of both worlds. And now I'm able to do local boot camps outside and then have my quiet studio where I train, you know, my clients that are, you know, looking to improve there.
Sweet. Yeah, I need both. I like the blend of both. Okay. Well, next question, we're gonna keep it spicy and interesting. Talk about certs, education. I think the biggest question the biggest part of this question that I want to put emphasis on is any experiences with clients that occurred either with a client or multiple clients that was not only life-changing for the client, but life-changing for you. And I've had so many of those. I'll start with like one of the most recent ones, or not even the most recent, but one that has really stuck with me. And that was my experience in Maryland at F45. Like there were so many moments at that gym, and especially when I left too, like the entire time I felt like I was shown love and just, you know, going through like a great experience. But I felt like that gym really showed me that I was doing what I was supposed to do. Showed me that what I do matters. And like, I think a lot of the people that I was able to help there, like they helped me just knowing that I helped them. And, you know, and that's probably been the biggest experience. Things where I've worked with clients that like in the beginning, we didn't get along. They trusted me enough to invest in me and allow me to lead their fitness journey, but we didn't get along. And then to where now, like, you know, we still talk on the phone and joke it out, you know what I mean? And where we broke down barriers to where they were afraid to do certain movements. And now like, I'm looking at them and their performance is skyrocketed. Like just seeing someone like make that change and feel like, you know what, hey, like we did this together. They put in the work, you changed their life. And like, you know, their life may not have been what it is right now without your participation in it. And then vice versa. I think that like, that's big for me. As far as certifications and education go, I'll say I've gotten most of my knowledge through experience and self-education. I'm certified as a personal trainer, and I've looked into other certs. This year I got to renew, so I'm looking into to picking up a new one, putting a new one under my belt. All in all, though, I've just had just a burning desire to know about the human body, anatomy, exercise science, physiology, all that stuff, to where like I do a lot of research on my free time. I do a lot of research to where I've learned so much. And just along the way, I've always been about asking questions. And just even with y'all too, I've watched y'all, you know, in group fitness, watch certain things you do, watch the way you conduct yourselves, you know, on the business end of being a fitness professional. And I take, you know, some of the things that you guys do and put it in my own toolbox. And I think that's the cool thing about this industry too, is there's so much room to learn and it's limitless. There's not really a cap on who you can help, what you can do, what you can learn. So that's where I'm at with that. What's up, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm kind of like on the same boat as you. But definitely most of my training, I feel like, has come from experience, learning from other trainers, because I feel like that's what our field is mainly about. I do have my degree in exercise science. I've done a lot with like the CSCS, like not the old book. Oh, Jax, come here.
I thought you caught that first.
The mail lady's here. He always gets anxious. I don't have a cert. I am not technically certified, but everyone that I worked for, like I studied this stuff for 4 years. And I'm not saying like it's better than some of the certs out there, but I feel like I have definitely got a very good understanding of everything. I have tried to study on 3 separate occasions for 3 separate certifications, and here comes in like I'm gonna own it, and I failed at it 3 times. I didn't fail the exam, I just never saw it through. I studied for it, I paid for it, and it was just at the time, well, 3 times I just like work I think got in the way, and I kept putting it off kind of thing. This year I did make a commitment to myself. I am going to get I want to get my NASM. I should get my CSCS, but I think I'm going to do my NASM just because I know I have so much material for it right now. So I think with like 75 hard right now, I've been doing a real good job at like really like owning everything and kind of like putting things to where they should be. So that's going to be one thing I feel like I'm definitely going to get done this year. So it's going to be that's going to be an accomplishment I really want to get done. When it comes to experiences, I wouldn't say I have anything that I know personally that has been life changing for anyone that I know about. Don't get me wrong. I know there's been tons of people that have hit me up on the side and be like, hey, like, by the way, like I was able to do this today. Or I see like certain people like doing a pull up for the first time and they tag me in it and they thank me, like help them along their journey. I've been a therapist for some of my one-on-one clients, like giving them way too much information than I needed to know. And it's like one of those things, like I feel like I'm a really good listener. So like they were able to kind of just like vent to me while we do the workouts. And I feel like we maybe got like one exercise done that whole session. So like at least they were able to relieve some stress in some way, whether it's physical or verbally, mentally, whatever. But it was one of the things, it might have been a turning point for my life. When I was in LA, I was working at a gym and I just felt like I was just showing up, you know, I was just like showing up. I was doing this. I was putting my energy in it. Don't get me wrong. Like I was giving everyone like what they needed. I was like correcting form, like hyping people up. But like I would go home and I'd just be like, I'm just like burnt out. Like, is this what I want to do all the time? And it was one little thing. This lady, Marcy, she came in one day, she took my class and she's like, oh my God, that's an amazing class. Gave me a high five. And she just came back like 45 minutes later and she knew I had worked like 7 classes that day. And she came back and she like got me a coffee. And like, I didn't ask for it. Like, I didn't drink coffee. And it was just like that little thing that kind of just like these people like really do care. They don't just walk in and walk out. Like they're on a timeline. Like they got shit to do as well. Like not all of them can just like sit and talk and like shoot the shit afterwards. Like, and like she just took time out of her day, paid for a coffee for me, and then brought it to me like out of her way. And I was just like,
that's beautiful, man.
And like something like that small, like kind of just like just flipped the switch for me. And it was like, all right, like I know there's more people out there that I'm affecting and that probably feel the same way or like have that same regard for me. So it's just like I just gotta keep doing what I'm doing, and just kind of kept me in it. And then I don't know, I just have been all in like since that. And it's just being in the group atmosphere, being able to help as many people as possible, rather than just doing like a one-on-one, I feel like is super beneficial for me because I feel like I give off that kind of energy in the group setting rather than kind of one-on-one. Like it's super awkward sometimes. So that would be like one of like maybe like a life-changing experience because like I might have not continued with training or anything like that.
Fair enough, man. You know what, dude? I think that's actually beautiful, dude. I've had several days like that where you're showing up and you giving it all, but then you feel like, dang, like just going through the motions or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you get that reminder. And I mean, I think, you know, that's another beauty of it all. You know, I think for us at least, and for most people, you want to feel like what you're doing is meaningful. And I think one of the best ways to even, you know, achieve that feeling is like feeling like what you do positively affects someone else. And you know, all that good stuff. So for sure, man.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like Ken I know watches this, like he always offers me a coffee like all the time. And like I appreciate it so much, Ken. I'm just not drinking caffeine at all.
Ken, you the truth,
I'm not
man.
drinking caffeine. Yeah,
Ken's the best.
Yeah. Ken is
Ken.
Awesome. I'm still sipping on that hot sauce you gave me, man. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not sipping on it, it's on my chicken. You know what I mean?
Like, chill. Easy though.
All right, what's up, Ange?
All right, so certifications, like I said, Bachelor's of Science. I have, you know, the NSPA, the Perillo Nutrition, the TRX, the cycling, spin. Oh gosh, I probably have more that I don't even remember.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just like flipping through pages with this search, just like flipping through.
Right. But I will have to say, one of my proudest and one of the biggest one, the one I use the most, it's got to be my Bachelor's of Science. It's just, I go to that all the time. Very fortunate to use everything I learned daily. So I have a few experiences that were definitely life-changing. Some of them aren't. We're going to get a little deep here. So a couple clients actually trained them through the end of their life dealing with cancer. They declined treatment, and part of them working out was part of them living out their best life until it was time for them to pass. And it was a very, like you start with, I got a doctor's appointment, something hurts, to I got an eye doctor's appointment. They think it's diabetes. You go through them as they come in each week and tell you about a doctor's appointment. And the ultimate diagnosis is pancreatic cancer, or lung cancer. So I had that experience with two females, helping them deal with the end of their life and being with them, helping them. My goal was helping them have a good day, helping them feel good that day. And then one of my dear friends came to me during her breast cancer chemo treatment, and I see her now, and she came to me in her darkest day, and how she is so strong, married, healthy. Like, I saw her in her darkest day and just come out of it every week. And that was an opposite experience. And she is so dear to my heart, so motivating.
Wow.
I also have some clients, and one particular that I train through trauma. I'm part of their recovery. This person dealt with some horrible trauma, and them working out every day with me is part of their recovery. It's a part of their feeling good about themselves, believing in themselves. You know, even if it's training with me and then they go home and they don't leave the house for the rest of the day. My goal is to help them do small things, whether it's load the dishwasher, get a shower. We don't realize some of these things that people go through and how it affects their life. So I would say those were some really big things that changed me as a trainer. And I had a nutrition client that I worked with, and he left with his plan. I didn't hear from him for a solid year. 1 year later, he calls me and he says, "Can you come do my body fat? I've been following your program." And I'm like, okay, like, you haven't seen him in a year, hasn't called, nothing. Homeboy dropped like 70 pounds.
Oh, dang.
Damn.
It's like
Let's
in
go.
the dark too. Like you didn't know anything.
I knew nothing.
Yeah, that's tight.
He is a local farmer, and that's a tough life. Like, you're stopping at, the house for a quick lunch. Like, it's very hard. You're getting up early. You have long hours. I was like, let's see what this guy does with this, and blew my mind. So there's about 4 or 5 big experiences that were really life-changing for me to be a part of that.
Man, dang, Ange, you kind of blew me away with that one. Like, that was, yeah, y'all both y'all had some beautiful stories, but that's, wow, yeah, that's all I can say, man.
Yeah,
deep.
That got really deep. That got really deep. But that's a beautiful thing. I mean,
yeah, being able to help someone like during that time, like close to the end or at their darkest time, like you might not know, like being in a group setting, you might not know that level of like where they're at, because like they don't want to share it with you because you're always around a bunch of people. So you could be like, I could be dealing with people every day that are like that, but I just don't know personally, because you had that one-on-one connection. You had that.
Yep.
And that's why
Absolutely.
you never know. That's why you never know. And that's why
never know.
No matter what, like, don't get me wrong, like there's definitely people in the studio that, like, I'm not saying like I play favorites, but like people are definitely like more prone to like having those conversations after class, and we kind of get along, or we see each other at a studio and stuff like that. But like I I make it an effort to make sure that every person that comes in that door gets a little bit of me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm making sure that they get a high five, they get a fist pound, they get a great job, they get a form correction, they get a big smile from me. I joke, run over to them and start like shimmying and like dancing just to like, get a laugh out of them. Like that's my goal. Is if I can get every single person in that room to at least chuckle or laugh at least once, I feel like that's a plus, because who knows what kind of day they've had.
Yep.
Dude, that's my thing. I freaking love it when, like, especially someone new and they're like either very shy, they don't smile, they're kind of mean. And then now you got this person like bent over laughing at something you did or you said,
Yeah.
fist pump you now, like you freaking bust down that barrier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a lady get up on the pull-ups today and she like was like, that ain't happening. I'm like, bullshit, it isn't. Like, getting up there. And she started laughing about it. And then she was up there and she did all 4 sets.
It's so true that you never know when you are the brightest part of someone's day.
Man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, y'all watching, that's another reason why, you know, that's another part of the beauty of being a fitness professional, but that's in every part, like no matter what it is that you do, you know, this is our thing. And okay, cool. Next question, man, which leads me to that. What do you feel it takes to be a fitness professional? I feel like this is a very open-ended question and there's no right or wrong answer. There are a couple, like, one second. There are a couple, I feel like there are a couple like baselines, kind of like how we talked about morals, how like you got like foundational morals and then everything else kind of goes on the side of that. So like, I think, you know, there are a couple things, but I would say like one of the biggest things to what it takes to be like a true fitness professional is to care about people through fitness, to truly like, you know, have some passion about it where you're like, I want to share this with someone. I want to help someone this way. I think another thing with being a true fitness professional is like being willing to learn and not trying to fill something up with bro science. Like, you know, I get a lot of questions and I got a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I got this passion to learn it, not only so that I could tell you what it is, but so that I could grow myself, you know what I mean? So that I could build onto what I have. So one of the biggest things I would say it takes is passion, and that passion to care for someone else. Knowledgeable. You want to know something, you want to have a foundation, because many people come to you as a fitness professional for a lot of different reasons. I think one of the biggest reasons is so you can keep them safe when they work out, so they can learn something new, proper form. You know what I mean? So that you could help them. So you got to have some knowledge so that you could do that safely and effectively. You know what I mean? I think that's another one. Not every fitness professional is like 6-packed up and like, you know, in like, you know, low body fat percentage. And I think that I'm not going to say that's men though. I feel like, you know, it's good to lead by example, but I've been heavier. I haven't always had like abs and stuff like, you know, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I've always been able to like work out, and I've always had some knowledge, you know what I mean? And been able to like, you know, physically show my client what I'm going to have them do. And in group fitness, same thing like that. Those are a couple things, but when it comes down to like just the essentials, I think we could all agree probably is that passion is one of them. Caring for people, knowing something, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot more. I may piggyback in or jump back in as y'all answer this question. So go ahead and give it a go, Scotty.
I definitely agree with you. Like, it doesn't always matter about looks. I feel like there's people out there that have injuries or like have had like heart attacks or like something where they physically can't, or like triple bypass surgery, like they like physically can't do certain things, but they have the knowledge, like they have done it. Like there's a difference between just kind of just like shouting out things and like never doing the workout and just like, all right, cool, like do this, this, and this, and like, all right, whatever, like you've never experienced it, or someone that's like experienced all of the stuff that you preach and then like you physically not able to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a big difference when it comes to that. Yeah. I feel like every trainer should at least kind of like should have or go through the type of workout that you're coaching. You know what I mean? Like obviously if you physically can't anymore, you probably have in the past, or you had done something along those lines. Because I feel like that's very important to know what your clients are going through. But I would say, like, piggyback off yours, like I agree with everything you said, passion. But I would say selflessness.
Yeah, man, that's a big one with this with this industry. It's definitely selflessness.
Yeah, 100% selflessness, like being able to put like the client first, putting their needs, their goals is what they're paying you for. They're paying their hard-earned money to you for you to give them a service to help them be better. And if you don't come up with that, and like obviously they have to be all in, like they have to commit to it. Like it's not like you just snap your finger and then boom, now they're in shape.
No,
like
but you got to deliver.
You have to deliver, and if you aren't stern enough, if you aren't like giving them the like intention like of them like needing to do this and like giving them the information and why and the why and the why, like then they're not going to understand. So you have to take ownership as that as well. You have to be able to like put yourself almost in their shoes and figure out what they need to have it click, or kind of just go back to the drawing board and try something new. Like, but like you have to try. Like you have, like if you have to stay up longer to figure something out, like then you got to do it. Someone's paying you to do this,
right?
It's like sacrificing your time.
No, I think that's a big one, because like it's a big thing too with training. Usually we work around other people's schedule, you know, so you are sacrificing your time. So you got to be willing to do that. And yeah, like you said, somebody's paying you for a service, and I don't think you should take that lightly, whether you work for a gym or you work for yourself. People paying you for a service. Mm-hmm. Like truly do your best to give them what you said you were going to give them. Like give them that, like have systems put together, like have your methods in order. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like your reputation is on the line, but like that comes with being selfless. You know what I mean? Like people realize that, all right, cool, this person knows what they're talking about. They're taking the time to do this for me. And then your reputation happens, and then it goes up from there. Mm-hmm. Not you just trying to look the coolest and like do all the coolest thing and like, oh, like look what Scotty can do. Scotty can do that. Scotty can do this. Like no one cares about that. They care about themselves. Everyone else is more like, I would say almost selfish, because or not even selfish, they just want to be healthier. They want to be in better fitness condition. Yeah, like
agreed. Definitely agreed.
It was a good topic.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right, Ange.
So I definitely agree with everything you guys said, but I do have to touch on not the appearance, but the energy of a trainer. Okay. So I definitely believe to be a successful fitness professional, whatever capacity this means, you have to bring your best self. You know, I walk by the local gym and I see the guy with the feet up on the desk with a Coca-Cola on his desk playing a video game on his phone. Like, I get it. We have downtime, but you've got to be your best self and you have to be an example. If you're eating donuts every morning while you're training your client, I don't feel like that's setting a good example. We don't need six-pack abs, but you've got to walk the walk. You know, do as I do as I say, not as I do. Like you've got to bring it. I truly believe that. You don't need six-pack abs. You don't even need to maybe work out as hard as your clients, but you got to bring your best. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that is crucial. Positive energy, because people are looking up to you. People are looking to you and they want to see that you're doing it. Okay.
100%.
Yeah. You have to be willing to do the research. And you've got to have grit and grind. I mean, that schedule's tough. You're getting up early, you're training a lot of clients, you're talking to a lot of people, you're giving a lot of your energy to people. They're taking that from you.
Energy is currency.
Every time you touch someone, every time you say, you know, relax your shoulders, your energy's transferring. Like, so you've got to make sure that number one, you recover yourself, you do things, you set boundaries, you know, maybe you don't look at your phone after 8 o'clock. Like you really have to do self-care when you are grinding as a health professional. I mean, if you want to stay in the game long, like you really do. And you have to have some kind of business sense. It's just not going in and training somebody. Like, you have to have customer service, business sense, especially if you're a 1099 and you are doing things, on your own. Maybe you're paying rent to someone. Maybe you're like I said, renting a space, but you've got to have some kind of business sense, because being on your own, like, you got to level up. No one gets in fitness to be rich. So
exactly.
If you're not dotting your I's and crossing your T's in the business end, that can be a really scary thing, especially like if you're a 1099. You got to look all your tax write-offs. You've got to really have some sort of business sense when it comes to running a business or being a 1099 trainer. Okay. So the grit and the grind of the schedule. Absolutely. Because you're at the mercy of when people want and need you before work and after work.
After. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say that those are my top three, besides obviously, like you guys said, being compassionate, understanding, willing to do the research. Okay.
Punctual.
Punctual.
Oh,
guys.
Punctual. You should be there before your client. You should be there before your client, like ready
100%.
for them. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's group fitness or client, you should be there.
Yes. Thank you for saying that, because I will tell you, being there, ready to go for your client is more important than you think. You better show up ready.
Yeah.
Okay. That's people's money. People save their money. People sacrifice other things in their lives to train with you. You better show up and show up good.
Yeah, definitely one of those things. You're saying, like, energy and people looking up to you. A trainer said it one day. It was funny, but like it was like kind of true. I don't know if you guys feel this at all, but like there's three things that people look at you as, or like it's like they either want to be you, they want to be your best friend, or they want to be with you. It's usually one of those three things. And like, I don't know, you can take it how you want it, but like when he said that, like that kind of makes sense. Like, I become friends with like a lot of my clients. You know what I mean? Or there's a lot of people like, what do you do? Like how'd you do this, or how'd you get that? Like, and they ask me like all these questions because they want to be like me. Megan can like vouch for this. I'm very oblivious when it comes to people flirting with me. So there probably have been people.
Dude, me too, bro. Me too.
I'm just like, it's like over my head.
I think we all are. I would say, I think we all are, because we are in the people business. So for us, we're just like, yeah, dude, check this out.
Right.
I know, man.
Yeah,
like I definitely, there's been a couple times where I got hit on by a couple girls, but in LA, like there was probably like every week I was just hit on by like a guy, like every time, and they didn't give a shit. They were just like, all right, cool, like, hey, what are you doing after class? Like, I'm like, yo, chill. Like, I'm taking, but like, hey, thank you. I'll take the compliment.
Right. I mean, being in the people business, that's not even on your radar. It's not.
No, you're not there for that. You're not there for that. You like, just
not
for me, because that's another thing. Real quick, don't be smashing your clients, man. Like, don't be doing that type of stuff. Don't be smashing members. Don't be smashing. Like, let's be honest. Don't be doing that. I know a couple of people like that. Don't be doing that, man. Keep it professional at all times, especially if you want to have a successful business. Don't be screwing up with their life and all of that. Don't be doing all of that.
I had talks with people back in LA where I'm like, yo, like, this is not like a dating site. Like, you're not just like checking in like every girl that comes in and like, all right, cool, like get her number. Like, no, that's not how that works.
No,
guys, you can imagine in my 25 years, I have seen careers ruined.
Straight
multiple
up.
Multiple. You name it, I have seen it.
Straight up.
That's all we're gonna say.
People don't think.
Yeah. Period. Cool. Well, hey. So last question. Because all that stuff was heavy. That was good. I enjoyed that. Last question. What keeps you going in it now? I'll say for me, man, I just feel like there's still so many more lives to touch. I still have so much more to learn. And there's still so much more I want to explore. Like, I really want to see how far this thing can go. I want to see how much I can do in everything. Like, I want to, like, I want to, there's so much more to taste. And, that's how I feel. I'm so like, curious in it now, like, you know, and I feel like there's so many more doors to open up. That's really what keeps me in it. All the people I've worked with, all the people that I'm gonna work with, and everyone that I'm working with now, that keeps me in it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I said, every day is definitely, I have to wake up, take it day by day. Right now, like I've set it up where like I get to the gym, I wake up at 3 a.m. I'm here by 3:45. First class doesn't start until 5 a.m. But like, I just want to be here. I want to get to know this place newly every day. You know what I mean? In a sense, even with my clients and like everyone that I work with virtually and online, like I explore that realm a lot. I want to see how far that can go. And that's a big thing that keeps me in it. And then lastly, I would say is that every time I turn away, like something that brings me back. Every time I turn away, like it's something that's like, no, you're supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be in that. And so far, I was saying my 4 years of being in this professionally, I want to say every year has been, you know, elevated. I've elevated. Every year has been, you know, it's been going up. It hasn't been like every year I'm going down to where I'm like, it's obviously that I should not be doing this. Every year it's been going in the opposite direction. So that's what keeps me in it right now. All right, man, you next.
Basically just seeing everyone's accomplishments, seeing everyone's like little wins. Like it's just fun to watch, like seeing people progress from like day one. I had people that are doing the challenge. I had people that were just before the challenge, like, hey, I lost 13 pounds. Hey, since I started, hey, I can do this now. Like I can do push-ups off my knees. Like those little things, like I just can't get enough. Like I get so happy for people when they do stuff like that. Like just being able to help others, like and exactly we have a smile on people's faces. Like that's, I don't know, being able to touch like so many people. Like I see over 100 people a day sometimes, depending on like what day I teach, and being able to have that much impact on so many people at once. I feel like I'm helping the world, whether it might just be in Maryland, in Timonium, wherever, Maryland. Like I just feel like I'm having a big effect on a lot of people's lives. I feel like it's contagious, and like they're having an effect on other people's lives because I'm putting them in a good mood. And I just try to always preach, like, be a good person, like do the right thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like it comes full circle. I'm putting the work in, and I feel like I'm getting rebuttal for everything. So it's like, I don't know. It's just this is who I am. You know what I
mean? That's what matters most, man, is that you're being you in what you do. I think that's the tightest thing, because there's so much more than fitness. It's so much more than fitness.
Yeah, and the books I've been reading, just like about being like authentic, like, and like how we talked about being authentic, like I think about it, I'm like, am I being authentic? Like I ask like questions. Like I've been reading that book Winning by Tim Grover. I just finished it and just reading it next. I highly suggest you read it as well, Prince.
All right.
And it's like one of those things, like he used to ask like players, like he worked with Michael Jordan and Kobe, all of them. But it was like one of the questions he would ask some of his clients, and he's like, go home, there's no one's around, by yourself, like for an hour and a half, and then ask yourself like all these questions. Like, are you injured? Like, are you fake? Like, what's fake? What's not fake? Like, what's bothering you? Like, all this stuff, and like, kind of like see where you're at, and like, what's real, what's not real, and like, are you doing this for yourself? Are you doing it for others? The real thing is, you should be doing this for yourself, no matter what. Like, obviously, like family is very important, I know, to everyone, and like that's huge. Like that should be number one priority for everybody. But you got to make sure that you're doing it for yourself when it comes down to it, and to make sure that you're like, and I feel like I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for everybody else, because like that is what I want.
Right.
You know? It's hard to explain, but that's where I am.
I get you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm not great with words today.
No, man, you're doing good, dude.
You're good.
You're doing good, man. You're doing good. It's hard to talk about something that you can't really describe sometimes. Like words don't always describe it, because it's a vibe.
It's something that you just are. Yeah, you
are.
And you don't. How often do you talk about this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when was the last time you talked about like this, besides being on our podcast? You know, like when has anyone asked you that?
True, man. That's why we're talking about it.
I know. Love it.
All right, Ange. What you got?
All right, so there's a Deion Sanders video that I'm obsessed with. You know, what is the purpose of your practice? It's such a good video. And over the years, I really realized that the purpose of my practice is to help people win, to help people realize that they matter, that they can do whatever they want to do, that they have it in them to believe in themselves, to give them confidence, and to make their lives better. So I've had a lot of years to reflect on really getting specific with my purpose of my practice. And those are all the things that I feel that I am called to the fitness industry to do. Yes, biceps, triceps, glutes, sure, all that stuff. But I feel like my true calling is helping people get that confidence to know that their lives matter and they can do anything that they want to do, to have that belief in themselves. So I've actually had a lot of time to reflect on that. Worked with some business mentors that really has helped. They've helped me hone in on like, why is Ange Fit? What is the purpose of her practice? So those are the things that keep me going every day, every day.
Nice. Okay. I love that. I love all of that. Well, man, y'all just really got to know the inside of us as fitness professionals. Like, I feel like we laid it all on the table. I feel like there's a lot more to even lay. So we're going to have to do like a part 2 of this later on. But all in all, man, good stuff, y'all. I think y'all gave some really, really good stuff. We got to talk about it. What we working out to this week. Man, I stumbled across this song. I'm always trying to, increase my playlist as a group fitness DJ.
Yeah.
Music matters. And there's a song by Mary J. Blige and DJ Khaled. And it's called Amazing. It's a slapper. It's a good song. Mary J. Blige and DJ Khaled, Amazing. And yeah, it's a hard hitter. So we're working out to that this week. Myself and the group fitness classes, we're working out to that this week.
So
nice. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, check that out. What you got, Scotty?
So I went to the studio today, and I don't know, I was fired up for some reason, and I went to the 6 a.m. and I saw a couple clients who have always been asking to listen to rock and all this stuff. So I looked up kind of like just hard rock on Fit Radio, and it was called Metallica Spotlight. And let's just say it was way too intense for everyone.
What?
In class. Yeah. There's a couple people, I loved it. There's a couple people that really loved it. There was like Megadeth and like Alice in Chains. Like it was yeah, but F45.
It's my dream playlist.
Yeah, it was wild. I'll send it to you. If you have Fit Radio, I'll send it to you.
Please send it to me. That's my dream lifting playlist.
But Metallica Fuel was what I was super hyped about. I used to play that before wrestling matches as well.
Yes.
So I was just in a hard rock. I had to change it halfway through because I had a couple people just like, Scott, please. It was just,
you better send that to me. Send that to me. That's what I'm talking about.
I know. I figured you'd like that.
Yes, because I will tell you guys, I'm about 9 weeks out from stage.
Let's go.
It's getting real. It's getting hard.
It's getting close.
Every day I'm grinding. Every day it's giving. You guys may have seen on my Instagram story. Today, show up. How am I showing up every day for this goal of mine? So that music is driving me. It is fueling me. I'm depleted. I'm tired. My energy's low. But when I get that music, it's like I'm not tired in the gym anymore. Like it just drives me. But guys, it's all about the posing practice right now. It's all about the posing practice. So Waiting for You by Annabelle, I think it's England and Yodo.
All right, gotta look that one up.
Yeah, if you are a competitor and you're working on your transitions and you're working on slowing it down, being smooth, being sassy, really taking your time, this song is perfect to pose to. So I highly recommend you get on it. So
I thought
all
you were
about
going
the
to say like
posing.
Mozart or Beethoven or something. Something
Yeah.
classical. I was ready for it.
Oh,
Look, stage day is all about the sass and the, okay.
I knew it. Yep. Hey.
Okay. So if you're a competitor and you are not practicing your posing, you're doing a huge disservice, because that's what it's all about on show day, hitting them angles.
100%. Hey, and take it from Ann. She's got skin in the game. Sweet. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna end it with a not even wise words from me today, but from David Data, from this book called The Way of the Superior Man. Such a good book. Lauren London gave it to Nipsey Hussle. And getting this book from a woman is a really, really interesting thing. But anyway, this book is really good. But the quote is, if you don't know your purpose, discover it now. The core of your life is your purpose. Everything in your life, from your diet to your career, must be aligned with your purpose if you are to act out with coherence and integrity in the world.
Ooh, you need to post that.
Yeah, no, it's crucial. Yeah.
Can you post that or send that?
Yeah.
That's great.
Hit me with a little tag.
Yeah, tag, please. Tag us. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really good book too. I read it in the summer, not even in the summer of 2020. And it was actually a book that helped me out as a person and even in my marriage, but as a professional, it's a good book, but definitely dope quotes. So I'll do that for sure.
That's awesome.
Well, world, we want to thank y'all for chiming in. Y'all got anything else? And Scott? No.
Perfect.
Be a good person.
Be kind.
Sweet. Yeah, be a good person. Be a good person. All right, well, you can find me on all platforms at Train Like Prince and 3 Dope Individuals. Where you at, Ange? Where you at, Scotty?
Ange.
Right
Instagram.
Sweet. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Deuces.
See ya.